here at Cato Restaurant. We try to use a lot of ingredients that are highly prized in Chinese, Taiwanese culture. We try and see if we can change Western perception of what luxury is. When I grew up, it was simply, we're going to this place because they have good food that reminds me of my home and I want my kids to try it. But now it's like, wow, I didn't know you grew up in San Gabriel. I get it. You like this, I like this too. It creates a conversation, and maybe one day this food equates to fine dining elsewhere. Food was pretty important for my family in terms of just celebration, and my parents always worked late, but I just remember when they came home, my mom made it a point, I'm gonna make a full dinner and we're all gonna sit down and eat and talk. My grandma, from my mom's side, she would come often when I was younger just because my parents worked so much, and then she would kind of take care of me and like make me snacks. But she didn't grow up cooking, and my mom didn't grow up cooking either, so their cooking styles were really unique. They really just saw something and they were like, yeah, let's try to make it. So I think that definitely adds to how I make food here too, because a lot of what my mom makes, I'm like, whoa, like how do you make this? Because I haven't tasted it elsewhere either. So sometimes when I make something here and then like a Taiwanese person or Chinese person will like, what is this? You're saying it's one thing, but I've never had this before. And I will call her and I'll be like, you tricked me. This is something you made up. Growing up in San Gabriel, you have a lot of access to a lot of different cultures, Korean food, all sorts of Chinese food, Sichuan food, Hunan food.
Me and John knew each other when we were in high school. I really enjoy the fact that you can kind of get that vibe of the San Gabriel Valley out here and like introduce it to new people that never experienced that when they were growing up.
Technically, we're in West LA. My parents leased this out to do a small business and it didn't pan out, and then we took it over.
So this is going to be kind of our spin-off of a really traditional Taiwanese dish called three-cup chicken, three-cup abalone instead. And we have that with a bit of lime basil on the top and then Fresno strings to finish. Enjoy.
So a lot of people that come in and eat, it's either a ratatouille moment for them or it's something completely new.
The recurring theme was seafood. We were doing a lot of Asian-style fish dishes, and then we tried doing steamed fish. We basically did just a smaller version of my mom's steamed fish, and I was like, man, this is so simple. I don't know if this hits the same way it does for me. A lot of diners were kind of expressing the same things. They're like, oh, this is so homey. It wasn't just other Asian Americans. Everybody that had that dish was like, I really don't get it, but it's just so comforting. And I thought that if we can convey that feeling through one dish, that we should try doing it with others. It was during that period of time where we really put our foot down and said, well, we should really try and champion our heritage and really see what we could do.
Do you have any abalone ready?
Did that one seem like, fire 2 no salt rod?
John has really sharpened the focus of Cato in the time that he's had it. If you're somebody who, like me, is Taiwanese American, it will start evoking these childhood memories because he will do the fancy fine dining version of things that you've eaten a lot, you know, in terms of the flavor and the texture, but presenting it in a different way. If you've been eating in Chinese restaurants around America and you've eaten the fried pork chop or you've eaten minced pork rice or you've eaten the beef noodle soup, you've eaten Taiwanese food,
Taiwan is an island. There's waves of immigration. My grandparents from both sides of the family are from different places, so it's just a huge amalgamation of a lot of different things. And then when you take that and you move it to America, you're dealing with a whole new thing, because every time a cuisine comes to America, it's a different set of local produce and local tastes.
There's a sense of identity that's very important to Taiwanese people, where they want to self-declare that they're Taiwanese. At the same time, you talk to somebody like John Yao, or you even talk to my parents, and you realize so many things that I like to eat, like to cook, of course they're rooted in China, because that's what happened with migration patterns. John is also just really good at making comfort foods, and it tastes familiar, but also like this thing that's brand new.
Our honey walnut shrimp is our version of a Panda Express honey walnut shrimp. And I love Panda Express. The hot plates with just an assortment of food, and then you get rice. It's huge in Taiwan.
I think Taiwanese food is absolutely ready for the spotlight. People are already embracing the flavors. It's just time for people sort of to, even explain to you, you are eating Taiwanese food.